Hi everybody, and welcome to the Scott Show. This is This Day in History. We are doing this a little early, and we're kind of doing it cold. That's how I sound, folks. That's how... We're live, so we're going to do it up anyway. Alright, so January 7th, 358 days left until 2019. Now, if this is not your year so far, 7 days into it, just not happening for you. Next year will be your year. You only have 358 days to wait until that happens. Alright, so we are going to start this day in history by announcing that Pope Pius V is elected Pope in 1566. Fire destroys Jamestown, Virginia in 1608. Galileo makes his observation of the four Galilean moons, Ganymede, Callisto, Io, and Europa, although he's not able to distinguish the last two until the following day. In 1782, the first American commercial bank, the Bank of North America, opens. I wonder what that bank is called now. Let's see. The U.S. Bank? Let's see. And it was a private bank, first adopted by the Confederation Congress, opened in Philadelphia, and it was succeeded in its role as a national bank by the First Bank of the United States in 1971. And then, of course, the first bank of the United States, it was a national bank. There you go. Interesting stuff, folks. We like to talk about that here on the Scott Show podcast. Alright, so in 1785, Frenchman Jean-Pierre Blanchard and American John Jeffries traveled from Dover, England to Calais, France in a gas balloon. There you go. In 1904, the distress signal CQD is established, only to be replaced later by SOS. So if you wonder where that came from, that's where that came from. In 1920, the New York State Assembly refuses to seat 5 duly elected socialist assemblymen. That's very interesting. In 1928, the disastrous flood of the River Thames kills 14 people and causes much damage in the riverside of London. Benito Mussolini in 1935 and French Foreign Minister Pierre Deval signed the Franco-Italian Agreement. In the Winter War 1940, the Finnish 4th Division stopped and completely destroy the numerically superior Soviet forces. There you go. In 1945, British General Montgomery holds a press conference where he claims credit for the victory at the Battle of the Bulge. In 1954, Georgetown Ibm Experiment, the first public demonstration of a machine translating system held in New York at the head office of IBM. In 1959, the United States recognizes the new Cuban government of Fidel Castro. 1968 Surveyor Program, the last spacecraft in the Surveyor series, lifted off from Launch Complex 36A in Cape Canaveral. 1973, Mark Essex fatally shoots 10 people and wounds 13 others at Howard Johnson's in Louisiana. 1980, Jimmy Carter authorizes legislation giving $100 billion in loans to the Chrysler Corporation. So, it's happened many times, folks, where we give money to richer people. Don't think this tax thing is something new. Brunei becomes the 6th member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. 1985, the Japan Aerospace Agency launches Sagigate, the first interplanetary spacecraft and deep space probe launched by any country other than the Soviet Union and the United States. I wonder what Soggy Gate is doing now. Jeep Chan. Wow, I can't talk today, folks. This is what happens when you do mini shows. Alright, the Jeep Grand Cherokee introduced at the Detroit Auto Show in 1992. In 1993, the Fourth Republic of the Guyana is inaugurated with Jerry Rawlings as president. In 1999, the Senate trial in the impeachment of President Clinton begins. 2012, a hot air balloon kills all 11 people on board in New Zealand. In 2015, 2 gunmen commit mass murder at the offices of Charlie Hebdo in Paris, shooting 12 people execution style and wounding 11 others. In 2015, a car bomb outside of a Yemeni capital kills 38 with more than 63 injured. We're always talking about when people die, and it's never one of those fun things. It just happens. So, there you go. Alright, so we are going to go to births now. We got Thomas of Woodstock, the first Duke of Gloucester, Lord High Constable of England. He was born in 1355. 1502, Pope Gregory the Eighth was born on that day. Joseph Bonaparte, who ended up being an Italian king, born 1768. Millard Fillmore, who became President of the United States, 13th President of the United States, in fact, born in 1800. So a little bit after the Revolutionary War happened, our 13th President of the United States, Millard Fillmore, was born on that day. On this day in history, James Simpson Jr., born this day in history, 1905. Butterfly McQueen, born 1911. I did love that name, Butterfly McQueen. Ben Kropp, an Australian hunter and photographer. I have seen some of his pictures, and they are pretty awesome. Born this day, 1936. Lou Graham, born this day, 1938. And we also have Tony Elliott, founded the Time Out, English publisher, born 1947. Kenny Loggins, born 1948. So happy birthday to Kenny Loggins. Morris Titanic, I just think that's one of the coolest names ever. 1953. David Caruso, 1956. Katie Couric, 1957. John Thune, 1961. Rand Paul, 1963. Nicolas Cage, 1964. Nicolas Cage was born. Nick Clegg, 1967. Doug E. Doug, 1970. I always thought that was a cool name too. Eric Gagne, 1976. We got a few more here, folks. We got Natalie Gubelis, born 1983. So happy birthday, Natalie, there. And happy birthday also to Michael Sam, born this day in 1990. And we always got a few deaths to talk about. Like I did say, I am doing this cold. So just talk about what we're doing here. We got in 1536, Catherine of Oregon died. In 1655, Pope Innocent X. I just always love that name for popes. Pope Innocent X. Tesla. Nikola Tesla, 1943, passed away. Hirohito, Japanese emperor, passed away in 1989. Bronco Nagurski, famous football player, pro wrestler, all-around great dude, died this day in 1990. Gary Albright, also a wrestler, died in 2000. Magnus Magnusson died in 2007. And Rod Taylor died this day, 2015. 2016, Bill Foster. And today, being the 2018, it has been announced that Jim Atherton, who is the former New Zealand Deputy Prime Minister, passed away today, literally today, and so thoughts go out to his family as well. It's Christmas Day in Russia and the Ukraine, so Merry Christmas to you guys. Tomorrow everyone's got to take down their Christmas tree because then it's Christmas nowhere. It's Tricolor Day in Italy, Pioneer Day in Liberia, Victory from Genocide Day in Cambodia, and more than anything, folks, it is time to get off of this show and have myself some breakfast. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the Scott Show wake-up call, and we will see you guys very soon here on the Scott Show. You can check it out on thescottshow.com.